Good morning. This is Danielle Beach speaking to you from Beach, Oswald Immigration Law. Today we're going to talk about stimulus checks and unemployment insurance and how it affects green cards specifically. We may get a little bit into the HEROES Act, but principally we're going to be talking about the CARES Act because the HEROES Act has only passed the House and therefore it is not currently law. And the Senate says they will not pass this bill. It gives a lot more benefits to immigrants, and it's got a lot of great provisions that are not covered by the CARES Act. So let's talk first about cash stimulus checks. Cash stimulus checks are not subject to the public charge rule that came out February 24, 2020. They aren't subject because they are not requested. They are given based on income, and they're either given to you by direct deposit or a mail-in check. And those benefits have not been requested by you. So who is eligible? People who have a green card, permanent residence, and a Social Security. So what if you're a family of 4? You have a Social Security card, your wife does not, and your 2 kids have Social Security cards. None of you are eligible for a stimulus check. If one person in the family has only an ITIN number, identification tax ID number, they are not eligible for stimulus checks. Nobody in the family. That's kind of a harsh provision. The only exception to that is basically families where one of the 2 spouses has served in the military. So you should have already received these checks. You also can't receive a stimulus check if you are the child, even if you're over 21 and you're a dependent on the tax returns. You're not going to get one. So let's talk about unemployment benefits. So unemployment benefits are extending unemployment insurance for 13 weeks. The people who are eligible are people who have valid employment authorization under PRUCOL, under color of law. So this program basically extends benefits for people whose benefits they're not eligible or whose benefits have been exhausted. What you have to do is look at whether or not you have a work permit, because what if you don't have a work permit? That's the problem. So then technically that's $600 that each person gets a week, which could be $2,400 a month or $3,400 for a family of 4, you would not receive. Now, that is a benefit specifically under the CARES Act under COVID, and it is not subject to the green card public charge. It also, another great thing is testing for healthcare, treatment, and prevention. All those 3 things are covered by this act. Doesn't mean the cost of those things are covered, but they are all covered, and they're not, since they're emergency medical benefits, they are not subject to the public charge. What is the problem with this? Well, the problem is that you have to look at state by state, because some states are going to not include COVID in their medical emergency for Medicaid. And if they do not include it, then the problem is uninsured people are not going to benefit from that Medicaid benefit. So the HEROES Act, just briefly. So the HEROES Act does lots of great things. But again, remember, it's not law yet. So let's talk about 5 things it does do. First of all, it creates virtual naturalization oath ceremonies. So all the people who missed their interviews because the immigration was closed, USCIS, they will be able to become naturalized and they will be citizens. Secondly, it extends employment authorization for TPS and DACA holders. That's a big, big benefit. Many, many TPS people. Thirdly, it expands the treatment available and the testing available for people regardless of immigration status, which the CARES Act does not do. So it's regardless of immigration status. That's a great benefit right there. It also creates the cash stimulus check, even if you have an I-10. So remember I said if one person had an I-10, the whole family would just disqualified. Under the HEROES Act, if that passes, everybody's eligible. It also does some things for detention and releasing people from detention if they're not final orders. So a lot of new things. It's a $3 billion basically package, and it's 1,800 pages long, and it's unlikely to pass the Senate. Thank you for listening. If you like this, give us a thumbs up, and please contact us if you have any questions, and we'll be happy to answer them. I get questions on this every day, practically. So that's why I decided to do this. Thank you.